Great. So here we are. So this is my Python interpreter. What should I do? Let me exit. Oh, exit is a okay. Let's start again just to be safe, and let's pull up a new file. L3. I'm using Vishwanath's idea. Okay, so now the main thing we want to do is we want to define a function called next, and what it will do for now, we'll just take a list lambda. Well, I can't use lambda because lambda is a lambda function construction, so I'll call it la, and what it should do is return the partition that follows la in lexicographic order, right. So, so how do we do this, right? It may seem, so let me just pose to you this question: what follows 4 to 2 in lexicographic order? 4 to 4 to 1 1, right. So 4 to 2, it should return 4 to 1 1, and what follows 4 to 1 1? 4 and then 1 1 1, right, and then after that 3 3, correct. 3 3 1 3 3 2 4 5 6 7. No, I think it is a partition. Oh, here.
That will be 4 and 4 1.
Oh, okay. So then that's 3 3 2. So I think we are starting to see a pattern here, right, Uday?
Yeah, 3 3 2 and then 3 3 1 1.
Okay. So what's the point? So what's the idea here? So after 3 3 2, it's 3 3 1 1 and so on. So this seems to be something. So if you have a bunch of ones, then what you need to do is you need to go down to the last thing which is not a 1, reduce it by 1. Like for instance here, this was a 2 which we reduced by 1, and then the rest should be the, well, let's see here. So for example, this 4 got reduced by 1, and then we had 5 left, but this 5, we cannot have a 3 comma 5 in a partition, right. So we need to make it 3, but then there's 2 left. So we'd keep putting 3s until there was something left. So we'd have to use some a quotient and remainder construction. So basically the idea is, okay, so if okay, so here's what I do. If la 0 equals 1, then I would say raise raise value error, right. Partition is the last in lex. Is that how it works? Okay, so that should raise a value error, and otherwise we should look for the position where the last one occurs, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
So we can do that using p equals la dot index 1. Let's just try this out. La equals 3 2 1 1 la dot index 1. What should we get?
Get 2.
Good.
First one.
So now what we want to do is we want to take that so what we will do is now we will chop la 2 places before that, right? Okay, what if there are no ones? That's probably still okay. So suppose we had, for example, this 4 2 2, then we would still keep this part intact, this 4 comma 2 part intact, right? And then we would take this remaining part and we would do something to it. And what is it we would do with it? So firstly we would take this last thing and reduce. So suppose we had, for example, just another example, so we had 4 comma 4, then this last, or maybe A7, so this last 4, what I would do is I would turn it into a 3 and put a 1, right. So I would want to reduce this last non 1 thing by 1, right. So so let's say m is equal to la p minus 1. So this is the last guy that is not 1, right. And then I would take the sum of all the stuff that, so suppose I had something like 1 1 1, then what I would want to do is I would want to take all this stuff, right. Now this part will remain untouched.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I would take the sum of all this stuff and construct the first partition in reverse lexicographic order, which starts with 3. But it would be a partition of what? It would be the partition of the sum of all this stuff. So it would be S equals sum of, I would take a slice, la, and the slice would be from position p minus 1 up to the very end, right. It would be, so this t is going to be 0 1 2, but I would like to take the slice from 1. So what I can do is q comma r equals, there is something called div mod 42 comma 5, it should give me 8 comma 2. Okay, so 8 is the quotient and 2 is the remainder. So div mod, and now what I want is I want to see m minus 1. And I want to put q many m minus 1s. Let us see. So what I want to do is I want to return la. Now I want to take the slice up to p minus 1. So maybe this should do, right, because it will exclude the p minus 1 thing.
Yeah, that is like
Plus, then I will take m minus 1 and star it q times. Plus,
times VR.
yeah, and then I would put r, but I do not want to put r if r is 0. So I want to star it 0 or 1 times depending on whether r is there or not. So one trick is to do int bool r, I hope this works. So here's the deal, okay. So r is equal to 1, then bool r is true and int of true is 1, but int of false is 0, and even if bool of 100 is also 1. So long as you are non-zero, your bool is 1,
Oh,
is true. So int bool will do that. Okay, this is not very, I mean it's just clever, it's not particularly, but you know, just to not have an if or you could handle it by putting in 0 R's and then putting in a 0 and then chopping it off later, whatever, but this seems like short code. So let's see if this works or not. So
If there is no one, right? Since you're finding the index where there is 1,
yeah,
so maybe you want to try except
sorry, one second. What did you say?
so P is LA dot index of 1. If there is no 1, it gives an error. It says 1 is not in the list.
Oh yeah. So
One is
yeah,
not in the list. So if maybe you can say try P is LA dot index of 1. If
Good
except
point.
value error.
so you're saying that if there's no one, let's see what happens. So let's say L equals 4 comma 3 L dot index 1, it gives a value error. So try P except value error, and then what should we do?
Is the entire length,
I think P should then be
length itself.
the length, is it? Or is it length? Yeah, it should be the length. Len la. Because then there is no ones, but we would still reduce that pth position by 1. Yeah, I think that would be okay, right? Yeah. Okay, good. So now I can do exec file a.py. And now let's try next of, what shall we try? 5. Oops. Maybe I didn't save it. Yeah. Yay. So far so good. Still looks good, right? So maybe I could just do, oh yeah, three one one, still good. Oh, okay. So now I should do next A. 311, after that 221, after that 2111, after that 1111, value error. Okay, great. So let's try to now create the iterator. So what I'll do is I'll use this as a function and I'll create a class partitions of partitions, and I would say init. So it should take one argument, namely n. Okay, so that's my init. And then what was the other thing I had to do for an iterable? I had to, yeah, luckily I have my thing from the last lecture. So you have to define a method called iter, which just returns self. But the key point is to define next. Okay, so now I need to keep track of where I am to tell me who's next, right? So, so let's see. So we can try. So if I say next of none, it says type error. So probably I could try, or maybe if I try next of something which has, which name doesn't exist, it says name error. Okay, so I don't know what I'll get. So suppose I just try next of self dot current, it may give attribute error in fact, right? Okay, we'll just try that in a second. And then we, oh, I should do it like this. What I am saying is that if I am at the first one, I will try to send the next one. If I am at the first one, it will give an error, and so then I know I must accept, I am not sure what error, maybe it will be attribute error. I will just check. If there is an error, then I should get, I should say self dot current equals just n. That is the first partition, right? And then I should return self. So here I would like to say self dot current equals next return self dot current. So that will be the next one now. Does that seem like it may work? So what it's going to do is it's going to try to find the next one, but if it's in the first stage, it will give some error, right? In which case I'll just define it to be the very first partition of n. Everyone looks unconvinced, so maybe it won't work. Let's try it. There's some problem? Okay, so let's try this. P equals partitions.
No, you're using next. There are two nexts.
No, this next is referring to that function next. This would be self dot next. Maybe we should rename this. Maybe we should call it next partition, right?
Oh, I see. This is not.
Ah, okay, but it's anyway. I think it's bad form. So P equals, okay, I need to do the exec file again. Oops. Yeah, that of course was an unjustified colon. P equals partitions 5, P dot next. Oops, it's name error. Oh, n is not defined, so I should say self dot n. But for the rest, it seems to be working. I think it picked up the attribute error. So great. Okay, so now this shouldn't be a value error, it should be a stop iteration, right? So I can add another one, except value error, raise. See, if we go back to my iterators.py, you have to raise stop iteration when it's done. That's what you need to do to get an honest to goodness iterator, which you can loop over and stop at the right time. So raise stop iteration. And we can also test it like this, list partitions of 5. So this gives a list of all of them, and if we really want to test it, we could do len list partitions of 10. Who remembers the value? I think it's 42. Awesome. Table of partition function. So this is this is the OEIS 42. So are you brave enough to try? How far do you think we can go down this? 36? That didn't take very long. Good, so it gives 17977. It's always a good feeling when code works. Okay, so this is the basic, programming that goes into it. But with Sage development, unfortunately, the programming part is small compared to the other stuff that you have to take care of, and this isn't even good enough for Sage. But I'll just do some basic stuff. So I want to make a class for partition, for which you can add more methods. All this is done in Sage, so it's not like I'm doing anything new, but just to understand how this works. So in combinatorics in Sage, you usually have element classes and parent classes. So this class partitions would be what I'd call an element class. A parent class. But it's not so simple. So there'll be more technicalities. Maybe we'll go into that in a later lecture. And then there'll be something called an element class, and that'll be okay. So this is just an illustration of an extremely stripped down version of what happens in Sage. So this would just be a partition. So the init would be a list, hopefully in decreasing order. Okay. And in Python, it's considered bad form to check if inputs are correct or not. So if somebody gives it something which is not a decreasing order list, you could return an error, but Python purists will say you shouldn't check. And I don't know, there's this kind of philosophy, but in Sage it actually sometimes checks. But that can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you. So we won't check if it's actually in decreasing order, and I think it will be convenient to put a repr here so that it won't say object at some memory location. Okay, that's standard, just put the string of the partition. And now we must define a method next. And then you can define all your other methods, whatever you like, whatever partitions have. What do partitions have? They have sure functions, whatever. Repr is, it's oh sorry, not ref, I'm rep. Sorry. No, it doesn't do the same thing as, so typo. So now we should define a method called next, and well, we can use this next partition that we have defined. So we can say return next partition. Maybe we should say return partition next. What is it called? Next underscore partition.
For self dot.
Yeah. Self dot la. I think that is all we need to do, right? Okay, and then here we could do, so we have our class partitions. So I think now we could do here self dot current dot next. But here we need to make sure that we are working with partitions. That look okay? So this so now this self dot current, I'm going to change this partitions class to work with elements in this class called partition. And so now those actually have a method called next. I don't have to call the function next partition. So that's the thing. But I need to make sure that to start off with I'm using a partition and not just a list, right, which doesn't have a method called next. So let's see now if this works. Oh, repr return non-string. Oh yeah, I didn't return anything. I keep doing that. Yeah, it looks the same. Okay, the other one that we wanted to do was lattice paths. So maybe you want to take over.
So think about how to, maybe you can just,
Okay, we'll do lattice paths. It looks like
we need to do the next thing, right? So we need to figure out what given a lattice path, what the next lattice path is.
right. In what lexicographic order or reverse? Like I mean, we will want to start with NNNNEE or EEE NNNN. NNNNE because you want dict paths, right, which are going to be
Sure. So see all n's and e's. What you would want is to replace last e.
okay. So let's go back here and start. So what we want to do is define a function called next path of path. Return the path that comes after path in lex. So okay, so suppose we have something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this looks like a good example of a path, right? It has 7 ends, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it has 7 e's. Okay, who's next? Yeah, so NNNNNNEEE is the first.
Just lexicographic and n's and e's.
Yeah, so it ends with EEEE NNN. So where does this go? So we want to probably start from this end, right? We want to disturb as little of the left side as possible and see where we can change the right side. So this so far E, this is good. I mean EE, nothing much we can do. NEE, that's there we can do a change without disturbing anything to the left. So my guess is we would take this stuff and then instead of NEE we would write ENE. Let me just put a space in here to show you. E n n, no, I can't change the number of n's and e's. I have to have one n and two e's in that part. Right, in the dictionary you change as you keep the first as many letters as possible the same, and then you try to this thing. So it seems like it's similar to partitions in some ways, in that you're looking for the first place where it isn't all e's followed by n's. Oh, this makes very interesting. I think I don't know, but I should have thought about this. But you can use regular expressions here. Maybe we should do that next time. So you can write a regular expression to determine if something is followed by n's. Okay, so the basic idea is to start with this. Yeah. So what's the algorithm?
One E is followed by. Is it just the same as saying you change the E to an EN? And then not E's?
No, it's not that.
Changing n to en. It's like n followed by a few e's.
No. You see, so it's not quite that. Suppose we had like suppose we had n e e n.
See, so this is probably not one.
Then we would not do e n, we would do e n n e. Right? Because if you did n e n, that would come after e n n e. So what you would do is you would bring the e front, and then you would take the very first guy . So you'd look for the first place where it is not, okay, actually here maybe I'm wrong, no? Yeah, something is, this en is fine, this en is fine, yeah. So you look for the first time it is not a bunch of e's followed by a bunch of n's. Since it's not a bunch of e's followed by a bunch of n's, that place has an n in it. You change that n to an e, then you collect all the n's that follow it. All the n's, you put them, then you collect all the e's except the e that you had put there, and you collect them.
So just switch.
Not switch, no. They are not switching. Any en becomes en ne.
Like with the reverse and reflect of that n.
I don't think so. I mean, see, you could have something like this, and then you would be doing this en. I don't see how that's reverse and reflect. I mean, right, so whatever, if you had more e's here for example, then they would just go here. Okay, so here's what I think you should do. You should start scanning from the right and look for the first place where the tail slice is not a bunch of e's followed by a bunch of n's. Okay, now you find that slice. So, that the first thing will be an n, because till then it was all e's followed by n's. Of course, it is possible that the whole thing just ends with an n, which is fine, that is still a bunch of e's followed by a bunch of n's. So, that is okay. So, yeah, so now you have got this slice, and so you keep the beginning part the same, and this you take that n which leads it and replace it by an e, then you put all the n's, and then you put all the e's except the e that you put in the beginning.
We replace it by E, then we have to take this else before.
Yeah, you will put it at the after the e, along with all the other n's that were there.
It will again be a bunch of ends.
Yeah. So, shall we try to program it without regular expressions? So, firstly we need to know whether it is a bunch of n's followed by a bunch of e's. So, what we will call this function detect en. So, what would be the best way to do this? This may be a list as well, right? You want to work with lists and not just strings. The working with strings is nice, later on you could use regular expressions.
It's easier because assume it's a string. Because none of the things we did last time really uses that.
Okay, so then I see. I'm not sure exactly what the syntax for checking regular expressions is, but this is given by E star n star. So let's just do it as lists now and see. So so we'll do a lowbrow kind of thing. We'll start with the end of the list, and then we want if it's an E, then we go until we hit an N. If it's an N, we go until we hit an E, and then we go until we hit an N, right? So so there's something called reversed, right? You said
Reverse or reversed. If you don't want to destroy the original, reverse it.
so. What would you
It
say?
becomes a new thing. It's just reversed of path.
Yeah.
Okay, now what is the checking?
So while it is, yeah. I guess this calls for a while loop. So before that we should just say pause equals len path minus 1, right? The last one will be n minus 1 while path pause equals n pause equals pause minus 1. Is that minus equal to or equal to minus? Anyway, pause is the position. Oh yeah.
You can just
Well,
calculate just go from there and
yeah. Now once,
So only it's the equivalent thing of saying that it's the first place where a slice of length 2 is of the form EN. You look from right,
oh yeah, that's a clever thing, yeah.
it's all ends. The ends is the first time you
you
get
can
another
just
end.
go minus I plus
So I can take the slice, pause.
So you should reverse it first.
You don't need-
Oh, okay. Then it's NE, but then it's from the right.
So equals N E E N. No, not equal to N E. So what are we doing? We are looking for the here this is the position where we have an En, right? This is what we have. Until then it is what? It's either NN or E. Oh no, NE, this is what we have, right? We are okay with this. This is what, this is the bit that's bad, right? This is the one we are trying to detect. So if we don't have an NE, then we should go back one more. So I should take pause minus 1 to pause plus 1. And then I have found the place where the NE is. And in fact, I am at this position, at this E. That's my value of pause. And if pause is 1,
that greater, this is not equal.
if pause becomes 0,
Means you don't have any such position. It must be all N's and E's. You already, that's the last line of this.
yeah, then you should raise value error, right? At last path. Okay, so now what we've done is we found this position.
So raising the error will also break out of the loop.
Hmm?
It will break out of the loop at that point. Once you raise an error, it just stops.
Yeah.
The looping is.
Oh, so maybe we don't need to have a separate function called detect En, is it? We found the position where the first NE occurs. So we can just copy this into the other function. So now we found so this part finds the value of the earliest position where NE occurs.
So you
Pause is the index of the E in this NE.
Earliest from the right.
Rightmost. Okay, now it's easy. We just find out how many N's are there, how many E's are there, and then
putting two combination operators is equal to
sorry.
Is it not equal to this? This thing is not equal to in Python.
So
Yeah, I think so. 2 not equal to 3. That doesn't work. Okay.
No, that other thing, exclamation and so
Oh, yeah, that's there. Yeah. Yeah, that also works. That actually makes more sense, right? Okay, let's use that. Because not equal to is not, well, I guess it's greater than or less than, but not equal to has more meaning than that, right? Especially for strings, yeah. Okay, so that should give us the position, and now what should we do? We should take the slice. So this its pos is pointing at this E. So this pos is pointing here, and so what we want to do is we want to take the slice. Pos is pointing here, is it? But then I have subtracted one, so so it's pointing here. No, because I subtracted one. Oh, no, you're right.
It is not equal.
Yeah, so it's pointing here. Yeah, Kamalaksha.
So this is you are writing in the class that is.
Sorry?
This depth we are writing in the class.
No, this is just an independent function for now. We may use it in our class, but this is the main, thing to figure out. The rest is just standard stuff. So pos is here. So could we have so what happens if pos? So pos could be 1, right? Pos cannot be 0 unless, pos could be 0, I guess. If here you started with pos equal to 1, then you'd be looking at the slice from, pos equal to 1, then you will look at the slice from 0 to 2, which is the 0th place and the 1st place. And then pos would become, and then it would exit the while loop. So out here pos is the position of the E, and it cannot be 0, it can be at least 1, it must be at least 1. So then we can easily take that path and slice it up to pos minus 1, right, plus, and then we should take then we should take an E, right, then we should take how many n's? We should take path.
We should take this here to the same all the.
So we should look at path from pos minus 1, no,
We need to take, there are several links.
yeah, but we'll only put 1 in here, and then we'll put all the n's. See, we only put one E, then we put all the n's, and then we put all the e's. So we are taking this second part of this string and replacing it by the second part of this string. So this first part is this is path colon up to pos minus 1. This is the rest. So what we are doing is,
The next string will be E.
no, it will be only just one E, and then these 3 n's, these 4 n's, and then those e's. So n times, and then we must take path from, so pos is over here, so pos minus 1 colon dot count n. Does this work?
Put some brackets, it will drive.
Yeah? So we'll do that. Should we do
I think we will put some bracket or it will be.
where? No, it's fine. Plus, and then how many e's? So we have to reduce that one. Count e minus 1. May not be the most efficient code, but okay. Maybe there's a line wrap mode. I don't know. Anyway, it's dangerous to wrap. So count e minus 1. Okay?
Now we need that.
Huh?
We need to multiply e with that.
Now we need brackets, correct. And then we should put a return. Whew. And this can be a comment, okay. What happened? Oh no. Emacs has frozen. Emacs can't handle this. It takes a company like Apple to break Emacs. I hope someone from Apple is watching this. Okay. Oh, it doesn't seem to be stuck or anything. I don't know what's happening. Hmm?
I used to write in address. I mean, I was editing that.
Shall I use the nuclear option?
See if it's something it doesn't seem to be frozen.
Yeah, it doesn't claim to be frozen. But none of the menus work, so it has all the signs of being frozen. Oh, now it's working. Okay, hang on. No, but now the menus are not working either. It's kind of, it looks like it's giving some weak signs of life. I think maybe I'll just kill it. I hope I don't lose too much. Probably not. Oh, just before quitting it seemed to respond a bit. Luckily it has this thing called open reset. Oh, but it hasn't saved it because oh, I lost everything.
No, it said it has auto save data.
Oh,
Just like meta X recover file. I'll go this way. Yeah, recover this way.
yeah, so I guess which one would it be? Second one.
Yeah.
Wait, how do I?
Just choose.
Yes.
Yes or it's only one.
steel, I guess. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, so I just have to put a return over here. So let's see if this works. Oh yeah, that's gone away. -1 in fact. Next path. So actually this has a nice thing, it doesn't require you to have a rectangular, I mean a square path, you can have anything. So shall we put in this one? Oh, for some reason, oh, yeah, is that it? Cannot concatenate string and list objects. Okay, so I should stick to,
Lattice bar. What is this? Why does it say reduced?
it's trying to, you know, this is a string, this is a list.
Wait, I get on the list.
Huh?
You can make it with
Yes,
the
yes.
Path is
Start
not
one
supposed to be a list.
Yeah, but I was kind of trying to use strings, but then here I got a list. So maybe I could just do that.
It's also the very first E.
Yeah, I think that should work. Strings are easier. I mean, next time I'll talk about regular expressions and we'll see how they are really powerful. Well, the problem with my example is that it's so long that it's hard to tell whether it worked or not.
to the last.
So, okay, let's try a smaller example maybe.
But then that's not like
Looks like it made it all. No, it looks. Oh, there are too many ends, right?
yeah, that should be.
Oops, what's going on? What's,
What is it?
I have no idea. Okay, let's take a shorter one. Next path. Let's just take NE and see what happens. EN, that seems correct, right? So, NEN, that seems correct.
Compare the example you gave, compare the length. I think that is
Just take the tails, right? So, NE,
A few more E.
yeah? Ah.
Plus E is not. Last one that you do is not working. E star is it wrapping problem or
So, it's just putting one E, right?
that's only putting one.
Clearly. Path pause -1.
Oh,
count.
colon is the colon on the
Oh, yeah. Okay, that explains it. Okay, great. I think now it should work. Yeah? And let's go back to our favorite example. Okay, it's no longer my favorite example. Okay, but it looks like it's working, no? I mean, so let's now start with let's just start with so let's start with, do you know how many there should be? It should be just okay, so let's start with
binomial coefficient.
yeah. So we'll start with A equals N E E E, and then we'll say A equals next A and then print A. Okay. So it will print the next one and it will print the next one. So how many should it do? Okay, so let's start with A equals 20. Let's start with N and E. Equals the next path. Looks good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks okay, right? So now we can do the rest of the stuff, which is define our. We have time for that, and then we can check it properly. So now let's just define our class called lattice paths. And def init self, and all we got is n. And then we need a def iter self, return self, then we got to have the def next self, and so try return next path self dot current, except what error? Maybe we shouldn't say return here, we should say self dot current is equal to except attribute error, in which case self dot current is equal to n times self dot n plus e times self dot n, and then return self dot current.
So it is except whatever the value is.
Oh yeah, except we raised a value error there. Raise stop iteration. And then here we should say return self dot current, and this should do the job for us. So LP equals lattice paths 4 list. Ooh, 4 comma 4, so it's 8. Is this thing there in OEIS?
You choose 4.
Oh, it's just 8 choose 4. Len. Oh yeah, len list. Oh, but this thing is probably exhausted already, so it should say 0. 70.
You choose 4.
8 times 7 times 6 times 5 divided by 24. Yeah. So now what we need to do is, yeah, it's just 2n choose n, right? So another way to do it would have been to enumerate the subsets of size n in a set of size 2n and then construct. I think, but this is more.
Like that, what do you mean by rewrite? How do you traverse through that?
Again, you have to do some similar code. So this is direct, yeah. So.
So this is the standard, I mean, the basic template is always the same, is it, for iterators? You will always have, you need to have a current state and
Yeah, but in Sage it's a bit more complicated. So no, it's not quite. Yeah, I'll go over that maybe sometime later. I think partition or permutation, those are good examples to look at. So maybe if you want a homework problem, try to do the same thing for permutations. So start with the identity permutation, which is 1, 2, 3 up to n. That's, think of it as a string if you like, or think of it as a list, and then try to find the next one, and then in pure Python implement a parent class and an element class for permutations. Okay, so you do a few examples, you will get quite good at it. And the fun part is, of course, writing the next. The rest is standard.